It's a Saturday in April. You're 29. The coffee shop line wraps to the door. You join it without thinking, because you never think about this part. You order your usual, oat milk, extra shot, your name spelled wrong on the cup for the 100th time. You tap the card, $7.40. You grab the drink and it's warm and exactly right, and you've already finished it before you reach your car. You will never think about this coffee again. Not the barista, not the line, not the specific shade of gray the sky was that morning. Gone. Completely gone. But here's what isn't gone. The $74 that coffee just cost your 65-year-old self. Not $7.40. $74. That's the exchange rate. The one that doesn't appear on the menu, doesn't print on the receipt, doesn't show up anywhere, until the day you're staring at a retirement account and doing quiet math on everything you can't take back. Every dollar you spend at 29 costs you $10 at 65, not because you did anything reckless, not because you're bad with money, because time is the most expensive thing in the world and nobody hands you an invoice while you're spending it. You are 29. You make $61,000. After taxes, rent, the car, insurance, phone, subscriptions, and groceries, you have about $380 a month left. It doesn't feel like potential, it feels like scraps. Thin enough to disappear across a single weekend without a single thing to show for it. And most months, it goes. Not on one big thing. Not on anything you can point to. It leaks. The Tuesday coffee. The Saturday dinner. The online order that seemed like a deal and is now somewhere in the back of your closet. The round of drinks you covered because your card was already out. The flight that was cheap until you added the bag fee, the seat selection, and the cab to the airport. None of it feels like a decision. The money just goes. The way water goes through your hands, gone before you remembered to hold it. Now, meet the other version of you. Same job, same salary, same $380 left over at the end of the month. He's not more disciplined. He doesn't have a spreadsheet or a financial advisor or some older mentor who sat him down and explained the game. He's not wired differently. He's not smarter. One Wednesday night in February, he was slightly bored and vaguely anxious about the future. You know that feeling. And instead of scrolling until it passed, he opened his banking app and set up one automatic transfer, $380 a month, first of the month, into a total market index fund he picked because it came up first, had low fees, and that was enough of a reason. Done. 30 seconds. App closed. The money leaves his account before he can have an opinion about it, before the coffee can claim it, before the dinner, the order, the round of drinks. It's gone before it learns to want things. He goes to the same coffee shop you go to, orders the same thing, tips the same amount. He doesn't feel different, because in April there is no difference to feel. The difference is hiding in the math, and the math won't show its face for 30 years. You are 33. 4 years later, 48 ordinary months. Saturdays and Tuesdays and Wednesday nights where the $380 did what it always did, vanished into the texture of your actual life. Dinners, flights, concert tickets, the birthday gift, the shoes that were a justified upgrade, the weekend trip that genuinely was worth every dollar. None of it was wrong. You were present. You were alive. Living costs money, and you paid it, and you don't regret it because it never felt like a choice. The other version of you has $21,000. He put in $18,240 of his own money. The extra $2,760, he didn't earn it, didn't work for it, didn't notice it arrive. It compounded quietly in the background of his exact same life. Same dinners, same flights, same ordinary months, while he wasn't watching. His account isn't evidence of sacrifice. It's evidence of direction. You are 37. A promotion finally came through. Smaller than you hoped, better title than expected, a number that felt meaningful until taxes touched it. Take home goes up around $600 a month. You do what almost everyone does when more money arrives. You make the life slightly larger to fit it. The apartment upgrade you'd been putting off. The car that didn't have that noise in the wheel. The dinners that are easier to say yes to because you earn more now. And that's what earning more is for. The lifestyle expands to the edge of the new income. It always does. And the extra $600 disappears into a slightly better version of the same life. The other version of you is 37. His account, $73,000. He put in $57,000 across 8 years of quiet first-of-the-month transfers. The other $16,000, he never worked a single hour to produce. It showed up because compounding doesn't need supervision. It just needs time, a place to sit, and for you to not panic when the screen turns red, which it did, twice in those 8 years. Both times, he did the thing that feels impossible and somehow isn't. He kept the transfer running and looked away and let the number be ugly for a season. He did not feel like he was winning at 37. He felt like a person with $73,000 in an account he rarely checked, which is exactly what he was. The winning doesn't live in the feeling. It lives in the number you find on the other side of the decades you're still standing inside. You are 42. The urgency arrived the way it always does. Not gradually, not with a warning. A dinner party. A guy 2 years older than you. He mentions, casually, like it's nothing, that he's retiring in 18 months. You ask how. He tells you the number, the timeline. You do the math on your phone in the parking lot on the way to your car. You don't sleep right that night. You open a Roth IRA that week. Put in $500. Feel that specific mixture of relief and shame that arrives when you finally do the right thing in the wrong decade. The $500 looks like a child's piggy bank. You know it. You set the automatic transfer anyway. $600 a month. You tell yourself you'll make up for lost time. You believe it. Most people believe it when they start late. But the math doesn't make up differences. The math compounds them. You are 47, 5 years in. The market cooperated more than it didn't. You increased the transfer twice when raises allowed it, once when a bonus came through. The account reads $58,000, and something shifts when a number that size has your name on it. The flat tire last October didn't go on the card. The medical bill in February absorbed without your jaw tightening. The floor you built underneath yourself isn't tall enough to see over the horizon yet, but it's there. And standing on something solid changes the weight of everything above it. The other version of you is 47. His account, $224,000. He contributed $86,000 across 18 years of transfers that mostly felt like nothing because they happened before the money could feel like anything. The other $138,000 he never earned. 4 years ago, the growth crossed his total contributions on some ordinary Wednesday. He found out by accident, went back to whatever he was doing. The machine crossed the threshold without him and kept going. His account is not the story of a man who sacrificed his 30s. It is the story of one Wednesday night when he was 29 and slightly anxious and did something about it before he lost the nerve. That's the entire architecture. One night, 30 seconds, a number he picked because it was what was left. And then 18 years of not undoing it. You are 55. The account has grown past $140,000, and the feeling this creates is not what you expected, not pride, something quieter, the specific steadiness of a person who no longer does the anxious math at red lights, who doesn't check the balance before booking the flight, who doesn't feel like every unexpected expense is an indictment of something. The money behind you isn't enough to stop working, but it's enough to stop the particular brand of fear that lives between paychecks. The other version of you is 55. His account, $411,000. He put in $98,000 total across 26 years of automatic transfers. The other $313,000 arrived, compounded, earned more in a single good year than he contributed in 3. The engine running alongside his salary has been pulling equal weight for years now, and is starting to pull harder. He's not watching it. He doesn't need to. The not watching, it turns out, was always part of the strategy. You are 63. Retirement has a shape now, a date, a number attached to the date, a monthly income attached to the number. Your account, $287,000. 2 more years of contributions at your current rate, and you retire around $340,000. At 4%, that's $13,600 a year from the account. $1,133 a month. Add in what the government provides. You'll be fine. You will always be fine. Fine showed up somewhere in your 40s and never really left, and you're grateful for it in ways you struggle to explain to anyone still inside the years where fine isn't guaranteed. The other version of you is 63. His account, $598,000. He'll retire at 65 with around $680,000. At 4%, that's $27,200 a year from the account alone, $2,266 a month from a fund he fed with the same income, across the same salary scale, through the same economic conditions, living the same life. The gap between your number and his is not intelligence, not income, not discipline, not sacrifice, not anything that required him to be a fundamentally different kind of person. It is 26 years of $380 a month that went a different direction, routed into the market before it could become coffee, before it could become anything with a receipt, one transfer, one Wednesday. He was 29 and slightly anxious, and he did something about the feeling before he lost the nerve. That is the entire distance between your retirement and his. You're sitting somewhere on a Tuesday, 65. Retired, or close enough that the word has stopped feeling strange. The number on the screen is what it is, not what it might have been. You're not calculating the gap. The gap lives in the direction of backward, and backward isn't useful anymore. The coffee in April cost $7.40. You don't remember it. You never remember the coffee. What you carry instead is the account balance, the real one. The one that is $74 smaller for every cup you didn't redirect, multiplied across the years you spent becoming the person who finally understood what small amounts become when left in the right place long enough. The coffee was worth it. The question that was never on the menu is whether it was worth $74, whether the dinner was worth $2,140, whether the online order and the flight and the round of drinks and the weekend trip and the 100 ordinary, unremarkable pleasures of your 30s were worth the retirement sitting on the other side, slightly smaller, slightly quieter, slightly more dependent on a government check than the version you could have had. Nobody posts the exchange rate. Nobody prints the future price on the receipt. Nobody calls you on a Saturday morning at 29 to warn you that the 10-to-1 ratio is running silently in the background of every card tap. They don't tell you because if they did, the coffee shop empties. The restaurant goes quiet. The cart sits abandoned at checkout. The entire machinery of right now runs on the assumption that the price of later stays off the bill, and it does, until it doesn't. Until you're 63 on a Tuesday looking at a number that's honest the way only numbers can be honest. Without apology, without context, without any memory of the April that started it. You don't have to stop the coffee. You don't have to skip the dinner or return the jacket or stop showing up to your own life. You just have to know the exchange rate before you spend in it. Because the rate was always running, in the background of every transaction, compounding quietly behind every receipt that printed without it. The coffee is $7.40. The coffee is also $74. Both of those things are true on the same Saturday morning. Only one of them is printed anywhere you can see it.